All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something really big, a role that's so much more than just a new line on a resume. We're talking about a whole new way of building technology. Get ready because we're going to unpack what it means to be an agentic AI product strategist, the person who's really steering the ship for the next generation of products. So, what does it actually take? Let's get into it.
So let's just kick things off with a huge question, one that I'm sure is on your mind. If you're a product manager, if you're a founder, an entrepreneur, what's actually the next big wave? We've all ridden the waves of mobile and SaaS, right? Well, the next one is already forming, and it's not just on the horizon, it's here, and it's all about agentic AI. And that leads us right to the person at the heart of this whole thing, the agentic AI product strategist. Now, let's be super clear. This is not your stereotypical AI researcher locked away in a lab. Nope. This is a builder. We're talking about someone who's laser-focused on using these smart, autonomous agents to build actual products that solve real-world problems for real people. This is where all that amazing theory finally hits the pavement and goes to market.
Okay, first things first. Who is this role even for? Let's see if you've got what it takes to be on the front lines of this agentic revolution. What's really interesting here is that the ideal candidates, well, they come from a bunch of different backgrounds, maybe more than you'd think. Of course, you've got your product managers and founders, the ones who are always sniffing out the next big opportunity. But, and this is super important, it also includes domain experts. The people who know their industry, whether it's finance or healthcare, inside and out. And then there are the AI translators, those amazing people who can connect the dots between what the business wants and what the tech can actually do. Seriously, if any of these sound like you, you're in a fantastic spot right now. And here's the kicker, the part that I think a lot of people will be relieved to hear. You absolutely do not need a PhD in machine learning for this. Not at all. What you do need is this perfect blend of three things. First, really strong product thinking. You got to be able to spot the right problem to solve. Second, some light technical fluency, just enough to know what's possible and what's science fiction. And third, and this is huge, a really deep user-centric UX mindset. At the end of the day, it's all about the human interaction, not just the fancy algorithm running in the background. All right, so we know who they are, but what does an agentic AI strategist actually do all day? Let's pull back the curtain on their daily mission. So their core workflow really boils down to three key steps. First up, they design agent workflows. And no, that's not just a fancy term for user flows. We're talking about mapping out the complex logic, the decision trees that the AI itself is going to follow to get something done for the user. It's a whole new level of design. Then, step two is all about integration, actually putting these cool features like copilots right into the apps we use every day. And finally, the third step is the bread and butter of product management. You're collaborating with everyone, design, engineering, data, to actually ship the thing and get it into users' hands. Okay, this is the part you've been waiting for. What would your future job title even look like on LinkedIn? Let's see how this role is actually showing up out there in the real world. So when you're out there job hunting, you'll see this role pop up under a few different names. You might see something like Agentic AI Product Owner, which is really focused on the nitty-gritty of getting it built. Or, and this one's getting super common, Copilot Product Manager. And then you have these really cool specialized roles like Conversational UX Designer for agents. But here's the thing, don't get too hung up on the exact title. They're all just different branches growing from the very same tree. Last but not least, let's talk tools. Every great builder needs a great toolkit, right? So what's the essential software you need to design and build these incredible agentic products? Think of this as your mission control. For the UX design phase, you're living in tools like Figma and Miro. But you're not just drawing screens, you're mapping out these really complex agent behaviors. When it's time to prototype, you're getting your hands dirty with things like the OpenAI API, or maybe you're exploring frameworks over on LangChain Hub. And of course, you've got to know if it's working, right? That's where performance tracking tools like Mixpanel and Amplitude come in. And to keep the whole train on the tracks, you're using your classic agile planning tools. Think Product Board or Notion. It's this awesome blend of tools you already know and love, plus some new cutting-edge stuff. So as we start to wrap this up, I really want you to hang on to this one key idea. The Agentic AI product strategist, this isn't just a small step up from being a product manager. It's not just a minor revolution. It's a massive, fundamental shift in how we think. We're moving away from just designing static buttons and screens, and we're moving towards orchestrating these intelligent, autonomous systems. It's a whole new ballgame, a completely new way to build products. And that really leaves us with just one final question. Look, the tools are here, the demand is exploding, the opportunity is absolutely massive. So the real question isn't if these next-generation products are going to be built, it's who is going to build them. So let me ask you, Are you ready?